His wealthy and possessive wife, Chloe, took advantage of the fact that he was mute, deliberately misinterpreting his sign language. When he signed that he wanted to leave, she translated it as him wanting a gift, and on top of that, transferred $3 million to his account. When he told her first love that he was just a substitute, she furiously confronted him, saying, "My husband is telling you to get lost. Can't you even understand sign language?" No, hold on. Out of the three of us, who is the one who doesn't understand? The day Chloe's first love, Ethan, returned to the country, she came home very late, as was her custom. The first thing she did upon entering was give him a hug, nuzzling against him like a cat until his clothes were a mess, making sure he was completely enveloped in her scent. This was probably some little habit she shared with her first love, Ethan. "Actually, today I began," she said. He placed his index finger on her lips, signaling for her to be quiet. I get it all." He packed his bags overnight, ready to get out of there, even if he had to carry the house on his back. His benefactor paid him $50,000 a month, and in 3 years, his family had bought 2 houses. As a substitute, he knew his place. If she needed, he could even give the villa a deep clean before he left. When Chloe saw the grand meal he had prepared, she sighed deeply. "Let's eat first." He obediently served her soup and picked out dishes for her, sitting across the table and beginning to sign, "I want a." Before he could finish the last sign for leave, his phone buzzed with a notification, "Bank deposit of $3 million. "I know I didn't forget your gift," Chloe said, leaning forward to gently take his hand, her eyes filled with tenderness. "I thought about it, and this is the gift you'd like the most. Happy birthday, Ethan. I understand completely." "No, wait, which one of us understands here?" He wiped the sweat from his forehead, secured the $3 million, and tried to sign to her one more time. "I meant I want." Chloe understood again. Her eyes darkened, and she subconsciously licked her lips before leaning over and pinning him to the large bed. "Forget it, that's not out of the question. It is your birthday after all. I'll satisfy your every wish." The night was dreamless, but his back was genuinely sore. Everyone knew Chloe had a childhood sweetheart, a first love. Everyone was waiting for them to end up with him, but he had abandoned Chloe and gone abroad alone. So he signed an agreement to marry Chloe, receiving $50,000 a month to be a well-behaved, understanding substitute. He was quietly making a fortune. Thinking of this, he gently touched the priceless wedding ring on his left hand. Her first love was back. He surely wouldn't wear a second-hand ring. That meant the ring was his, another tidy profit. He happily took photos and listed it on a second-hand website. Suddenly, a phone rang from under the pillow. His hand moved faster than his brain, and by the time he realized it was Chloe's phone, he had already answered the call. A cool male voice came through the receiver. A man's voice. "Are you Chloe's assistant?" He couldn't speak. After a moment of hesitation, he managed a soft, "Tell Chloe her little psycho is back." Without a second's hesitation, he hung up and promptly sent the location of a psychiatric hospital to this person. Is this how phone scams work these days? Wait, I've been careless. Little Psycho must be Chloe's first love. They sure had some interesting pet names. He gasped, frantically trying to retract the message. Just then, the bedroom door opened. Chloe had come home to get her phone. "You're awake." His eyes darted around in a panic. Chloe misinterpreted his expression, frowning as she walked towards him. "Still hurts." As she walked, she took off her jacket, single-handedly unbuttoned her cuff, and rolled her shirt sleeve up to her forearm. Her long fingers picked up the tube of ointment from the nightstand. "I put medicine on it for you this morning." His head buzzed, and his face instantly turned red. Suddenly, an idea struck him, and he signed to her. "I need to go to the hospital." "Fine, I'll have a doctor come to the house." He quickly grabbed his phone and showed it to her. "Go to this hospital. Can you go there first and wait for me? I'll be right behind you." A flicker of astonishment crossed the woman's beautiful face. Her long lashes fluttered a few times as she squatted down, staring at him intently. A psychiatric hospital is still a hospital. Why can't they treat external injuries? "This is a bit complicated, don't ask for details." Due to his mistake, Chloe and her first love's reunion took place in a psychiatric hospital building. But no harm done. In the hospital lobby, the first love tearfully threw himself at Chloe like a fledgling returning to the nest. It was the little psycho's fault for being willful back then. He's apologizing to you now. Are you still willing to let him be your groom? The little psycho has been punished. He has severe depression, the kind that can't be cured. He's in so much pain he could die. Hiding in the distance, he broke out in goosebumps, trying his best to shrink and become invisible. His gaze was inadvertently drawn to a hospital poster. This research project looks like it could be profitable, a 20% annual dividend. Maybe I should invest a little. About 2 hours later, he discovered 18 missed calls from Chloe on his phone. He rushed back to the hospital lobby. Her first love was squatting on the floor, crying, while Chloe leaned against a wall, her lips pressed tightly together. A chilling, predatory glint shone in her dark eyes. Her usually cool demeanor now terrifying. As he slowly approached, he suddenly heard her say to him, "Could you have some shame? Do you take me for a fool?" Her first love, his heart breaking, pointed a trembling finger at him. Is it because of him? Chloe turned her head, and in an instant, all the hostility vanished, replaced by a hint of grievance. She walked quickly to his side and took his hand, holding it so tightly it was as if she feared he would run away. She said to her first love, "Of course it's because of my husband. I've been married for 3 years. Please have some self-respect." After speaking, Chloe looked down at him, the grievance in her eyes no longer concealed. She gave him a little push, prompting him to say something. He stood there stunned for a moment before reluctantly signing to her first love. "Actually, I am a substitute." He couldn't understand, but a stack of documents in his arms scattered to the floor. Chloe glanced down, picked one up, and handed it to him. "I don't think you understand. Let me explain my husband's meaning. He invested in this hospital's research program, specifically to cure people with brain problems like you. Please, go get treatment. If you're short on money, my husband will sponsor you. Just stop embarrassing yourself out here." Was that what I meant, Chloe? How did you understand it that way again? Ethan, I have to be clear with you. My feelings are just as I said in our wedding vows. You are the person I love most. You were 3 years ago, you are now, and you will be for the rest of my life. On the way back, Chloe was driving. She looked at him through the rearview mirror, her gaze so intense it made him feel a little guilty. Wedding vows are just a formality. He had also sworn to be faithful to his partner, but in reality, he'd been secretly building a nest egg. After getting that $3 million yesterday, he had already started planning his divorce and retirement in the countryside. All in all, Chloe and he had only known each other for 3 years and 1 month. If it weren't for the fact that he resembled her first love, he wouldn't believe she could fall so deeply in love with a man for no reason. As if hearing his thoughts, Chloe's grip on the steering wheel tightened, and her voice came out strained. "You don't have to do anything, just give me time. I'll prove it to you." He didn't know how to respond. In the end, he reached out and gently patted her head. Love or money? He made his choice when he signed the prenuptial agreement. He'd rather be a rich man himself than have a man who loves him. On the 3rd day after her first love's return, he asked to meet him at a coffee shop. For the first time, he felt anxious about not being able to speak. He could only listen to his one-sided monologue, unable to even interject. He pulled out the purchase order for his wedding ring, a sarcastic smirk on his face. "Chloe is using you as my substitute. She's just been saying things in anger. You've sensed that, right? Let me tell you, I'm the main character here. I have a system. I will definitely win Chloe over." He wanted to see him feel ashamed, to see him break down in anger. Instead, he wrote on a piece of paper and asked him, "What's your system's budget for getting rid of me?" He was stunned, blushing. He presented his QR code to him. "Selling the ring on the platform has a pretty high service fee. Can we just do an offline transaction?" After typing, he took off the ring and showed him all the details: the band, the diamond, the engraving. But until the money was in his account, the ring wasn't leaving his hand. He was completely bewildered, his hands clutching his Hermes bag so tightly his fingertips turned blue from the leather. He threw a check at him, telling him to fill in the number, name your price, take the money, and get as far away as possible. His eyes lit up. He carefully folded the check and put it away, then signed to him. "Understood, I'll go." Right before he could finish, the seat beside him dipped. Chloe had appeared at our table. She radiated displeasure from head to toe. She wrapped an arm around his waist and spoke coldly. "You're really a persistent pest, aren't you? My husband can't speak. Stop bothering him." Then Chloe pressed down on his wrist, giving him one of her "I understand" looks. His heart skipped a beat. Do you know what my husband means? He's telling you to get lost. Can you understand that? This was a disaster. Did Chloe understand? Not a single bit. She was twisting his meaning to the ends of the earth. That check had a limit of $10 million. Mr. First Love, can we please communicate via text? Don't watch my hands. After they got home, Chloe cornered him, demanding, Ethan, where's your wedding ring? He hid his right hand behind his back. In that split second at the cafe, he had confirmed the transaction and he had stuffed the ring into his Hermes bag. A businessman has to have integrity after all. The woman clicked her tongue in annoyance. He immediately lowered his head, bracing for a scolding, though she had never once yelled at him since they met. In his moment of distraction, his right hand suddenly felt a cool weight. Chloe had pulled another ring from her pocket and was sliding it onto his finger. The heavy, cold sensation made his heart skip a few beats. The last one was only a little over $1 million. My mistake, it was too cheap. This one is a South African pink diamond, $46 million. No one would dare pick it up if you lost it, and no one would dare buy it if you sold it. Just wear it for fun, honey. He was completely stunned. Chloe gave him a sly, triumphant smile, ruffled his hair, and went back to her study. He was too scared to speak. Wealth had come so suddenly. Maybe he should stay a few more days. He might just go from being a millionaire to a billionaire. Chloe giving him the ring was a hint that he should give her something in return. That night, she kept grabbing his hand and bumping it against the nightstand. The next day, after much thought, he gave her a copy of Sign Language for Dummies. She was so happy she didn't come home for 3 days. The next time he saw her was at her company, but he wasn't there as a doting husband delivering lunch. He was an investor in her project. He had divided his money into 3 parts, with about $10 million plus going into project investments. This time, he'd set his sights on a promising tech project. Her assistant was originally going to take him to the CEO's office, but halfway there, he joined a group of dozens of retail investors heading into a conference room for a briefing. The assistant was speechless. Chloe explained calmly, "My husband wants to build a career. Is there a problem?" His cheeks flushed, and he quickly closed the office door. Chloe smiled gently, squatting down to look at him. "Thank you, Mr. Investor, for your trust and investment in Rhodes Enterprises. I will work hard to make money for you." He felt a little flustered and quickly told her, "I didn't know the subsidiary was controlled by Rhodes. The project has great potential, and I trust your projected returns. I'm genuinely investing. Even though it was money I gave you, once I give it to you, of course it's your money." "I know what you mean." Chloe enveloped his fingers in her palm, her eyes reflecting the light, tiny specks that were all reflections of him. "You just need to trust me, leave the rest to me. Actually, honey, you're a very good investor. That psychiatric research project you picked last time, it's going to win a Nobel Prize in a few years." He paused, asking her how she knew what would happen years from now. Chloe looked down, a flash of sorrow in her eyes, but she quickly changed the subject. "By the way, has your mother had her checkup this year? Since you invested in the hospital, you should have her go for an examination. There should be a discount. Have her go early this year too." His mom immediately agreed when she heard about the discount. The checkup was scheduled quickly, and on that very day, Chloe and her first love inexplicably became a trending topic. The media had snapped photos of them in a passionate tryst at a hotel, arriving together 3 days ago and leaving together 3 days later. When they left, he was so weak at the knees he could barely walk. "What are you looking at?" his mom asked. He silently reported the gossip account and uninstalled the app. "These paparazzi are terrible, trying to ruin a happy family." She gives him $50,000 a month. What's a 3-day fling with her first love? Should he make her some soup tonight to help her recover? His mom, relaxing in a massage chair at the high-end medical center and eating fruit, sighed contentedly. "You're much more capable than I am, marrying such a good wife. I get to enjoy the benefits too." She had initially been against his marriage, and she didn't know about the prenuptial agreement. Later, Chloe met with her alone. He didn't know what they talked about, but she never interfered again, just comfortably enjoyed her new life. His thoughts drifted far away until a doctor called his mom's name for her examination. As he stood up, he bumped into a hurried young nurse and the files in her hands scattered everywhere. She apologized profusely. He rubbed his shoulder and helped her pick them up. His eyes fell on one document and froze. "Patient Julian Foster, compulsory electroshock therapy, December to December." Julian Foster was her first love's name. Wait a minute. Weren't the media reporting that he and Chloe were having a passionate affair during those 3 days? Could his weak knees be from the electroshock therapy? He swore it was the most unforgettable scene of his life. He followed the intern into the adjacent psychiatric research building. A little bit of cash got him access to the surveillance footage from a certain VIP treatment room for 3 whole days. Julian was there, receiving electroshock therapy. Chloe frequently appeared in the footage, dressed in a sharp, elegant black suit, holding a book, her eyes radiating a chilling coldness. Julian screamed in agony several times, but Chloe just calmly asked him, "Is your head clear now? Are you still listening to your system?" Her cold, ruthless demeanor sent a shiver down his spine. Even as he watched from behind a screen, he trembled as he fast-forwarded the video, suddenly realizing that the high-end hotel where Chloe was supposedly photographed was right next to this psychiatric building. So that's how they spent those 3 days the media reported on. Those 3 days of supposed passionate entanglement. You made your own mistakes, so you should bear the punishment. Didn't your system tell you that? Julian shrieked, his hands gripping and shaking the bed rails. So noisy. You're interrupting my reading. Do you know what this book says? That sign language is based on mimicking things. No, wait. This is a book my husband gave me. Why should I read it to you? The surveillance footage stopped at that second. He collapsed into the chair, a strange fear creeping up from the bottom of his heart. A system, her first love? Could this all be just an excuse for Chloe not to love him? Would anyone she didn't love end up as miserable as Julian? And would I be next? Perhaps from the shock, he slept soundly until evening, when he was awakened by the sound of a door opening. Chloe turned to hang up her coat, changed her shoes in the entryway, and disinfected her hands. She disliked having outsiders in the house, so she always did the cleaning and cooking herself. She came into the bedroom to find him, and as usual, the first thing was a hug. She rested her chin on his shoulder, nuzzling him for a while before saying in a muffled, "Honey, I don't like the smell of disinfectant on you." He stiffened, trying to pull back, but the flash of fear in his eyes was caught by her. She immediately tightened her arms, scooping him up like a child and carrying him to the floor-to-ceiling window. With his back against the glass, he had no choice but to meet her gaze. Chloe was beautiful, with pale skin and a faint beauty mark under her left eye. Her whole face exuded a cool, distant air. Only he knew that when she was aroused, that beauty mark would turn blood red and the love in her eyes would become so thick you could drown in it, utterly wild and possessive. She was looking at him with that exact gaze now, like a predator eyeing its prey. "Honey, are you angry because of the trending topic this morning? I've taken care of it all. Nothing happened between me and Julian." "No, wait. You took your mom for her checkup today? The results weren't good?" "It's okay. Early treatment will make a difference." "No, that's not it either. Did you find out about that treatment room?" The treatment room had surveillance. He flinched. His honest reaction gave Chloe her answer. Her eyes darkened, her lashes lowering as she said in a choked, "Don't be afraid. Julian deserved it." He quickly signed, begging her to put him down. The woman stubbornly refused to let him go. As he struggled, she lowered her head and gently bit his fingertip. "Please, Ethan, don't be afraid of me." She sounded almost wronged. What did she look like right now? Like a very fierce wolf. She could have easily torn out her prey's throat with her sharp teeth, but instead, she was forcing herself to act like a goofy husky, rolling over to show him her belly. He couldn't describe the feeling. He was probably still scared. He used the excuse of a stomachache to hide in the bathroom. She waited right outside the door for him, insisted on carrying him down the stairs, carrying him to dinner, her hands secretly playing with his fingers under the table. She was so clingy she couldn't bear to be apart for a second. "Ethan, don't leave me. Please don't leave me again." Honestly, as long as she paid enough, he was willing to stay. It was this crazed, obsessive behavior that scared him, that made him want to flee in the middle of the night. Unable to sleep from anxiety, he couldn't help but shake her awake in the middle of the night. He typed on his phone seriously. "Julian didn't even do that much. You're too cruel." "It's him now. Will it be me next?" Chloe responded with a meaningful smile. "The blood debt he owes can't be repaid in several lifetimes. Honey, I hope you never find out just how damned he and his system are." He was never curious about any system. How could something like that exist in the real world? But they kept bringing it up, each time speaking of it with such gravity that it kept him up for several nights. It was really hard to believe. Lack of sleep made him irritable. When he went to throw out the trash, he tossed the bag into the dumpster with extra force. Unexpectedly, a loud bang was followed by the sight of a person. Why was someone hiding in the dumpster? He instinctively apologized, but the person wasn't angry. Wiping the grime from her face, she walked towards him with a lewd smile. I've been waiting for days to finally see you. You're so delicate, and your body is amazing. I'd like you even better with nothing on. His mind went blank. In broad daylight. Did I hear that right? How dare she? The woman got closer and closer, her hand reaching out to caress his face. Her phone held up for him to see. It was a screen recording of a trending topic from the early morning of December 7th. Someone had posted deep-faked photos and a short video of him. About 5 seconds later, the topic was completely scrubbed from the internet. The person who deleted it is so annoying. This kind of perk should be shared with all the sisters, but someone tipped us off in advance, so we managed to save a lot. Tipped off in advance. The woman's grimy hand slowly stroked his cheek, her squinted eyes glinting with obsession and greed. The next second, he jammed his fingers hard into her nostrils and grabbed a discarded wooden plank, slamming it into her abdomen. In the chaos, he snatched her phone. She didn't dare scream and attract security, just clutched her stomach and writhed on the ground. He quickly scrolled through her chat history, and after searching for keywords, he found that one of the accounts sharing the perks was linked to a shady company called Shady Pines Media. Shady Pines Media? A quick online search revealed that Julian was an investor in Shady Pines Media. So this was the real reason for Chloe's revenge. About half an hour later, Chloe, having run a dozen red lights, appeared at the police station. Her eyes bloodshot, she coldly scanned every face in the lobby. When she heard that he had beaten the suspect so badly, she was now sterile and bleeding profusely from the nose. She was visibly stunned. Honey, if she did anything else to hurt you, you have to tell me. Don't keep it inside. Don't be afraid. You have to tell me, you understand? I'll deal with that woman, and with Shady Pines Media, and with Julian. I won't let a single one of them off. Back in the car, Chloe still held his hand tightly, her dark eyes filled with a suffocating tension. It was as if she was looking through his face at someone else, another Ethan who was timid, weak, and easily bullied. He didn't know how to ease her anxiety, so he could only reach out and gently smooth the frown lines on her forehead. I didn't let her bully me. I'm sorry about the other day. I was so scared when I saw the electroshock video. I was afraid you'd do that to me one day. I didn't realize Julian was so disgusting. Chloe carefully cupped his face, saying word by word, I would never do that to you. You are not like him. You are not like anyone else. Do you understand, Ethan? He could clearly feel his cheeks burning, his heart pounding. He quickly averted his gaze and started signing to change the subject. Julian has a system. So do you have some kind of superpower? Is it mind reading or time travel? Don't tell me you've been reincarnated. His answer was the roar of an engine. Chloe fastened her seat belt and started the car, her eyes lowered as she said flatly, sign language is so complicated. Slow down. Honey, I can't understand. Oh, I get it. You're asking how I'll handle this. I'll sue them to the fullest extent. Hey, you're clearly playing dumb. Stop misinterpreting my intentions. He kept trying to reason with Chloe, using sign language, gesturing nonstop the whole way while she just focused on driving, her eyes fixed on the road ahead. I'm the driver. I can't be distracted, honey. On an impulse, while they were stopped at a red light, he leaned over and kissed her. This is to thank you for helping me understand it however you want. The air went quiet. The light had been green for several seconds before Chloe took a deep breath and started driving again. After a while, the tips of her ears turned slightly red, and she said in a hoarse, Kiss me again. If you kiss me again, I think I might understand. In the second month after her first love's return, he, the mute substitute, successfully bid on a prime downtown lot in Manhattan, and his investment income began to double. Julian, on the other hand, was tormented to the point of a mental breakdown, even having a small piece of his tongue cut off, leaving him unable to speak clearly. He was facing jail time for producing the deep-faked video of him. Nothing was turning out as he had imagined. You know, you can only throw tantrums and be completely vulnerable with the person you're closest to. What I mean is, we were childhood sweethearts for 18 years. Chloe is only this crazy for me. The more she tortures me, the more it proves she loves me. She's punishing me for leaving her, right? It's another form of unrequited love. In the bakery he had invested in, a customer consecutively complained about 10 different cakes and demanded to see the owner. When he arrived, he saw that this difficult customer was Julian. He wanted to give him a refund and send him on his way, but he brazenly started talking about something else. I really envy that you still have a mother. My parents died abroad. Chloe doesn't know yet. She'd feel sorry for me, wouldn't she? She'd pity me. If I were you, I'd grab a pile of cash and get out of here fast. Wasting your time by Chloe's side only to wake up in your 30s and realize she'll never love you, and then leave in disgrace. He frowned. When Julian opened his mouth again, he shoved a cheesecake right in his face. Maybe your system is all-powerful, but you're still just a kept man chasing after a woman. Don't play games with me. I don't care who Chloe truly loves, so you don't need to worry about my future. As for you, if you can't win Chloe over, you should find another rich woman to marry into. It seems you can't live without one. Melted cheesecake mixed with tears rolled down Julian's face. His eyelashes sticky with sugar, trembling violently. His face turned the color of an angry liver. Suddenly, he slammed his chest and fell from his chair, a wheezing sound escaping his lungs as his face contorted, seemingly unable to breathe. What was this? Don't wreck my bakery. He immediately had an employee call 911. As we were frantically loading him onto the ambulance, his phone, which had been on a video call, slipped from his pocket. The entire conversation had been clearly recorded, and on the other end of the screen was Chloe's office. Julian suddenly gripped the phone and screamed, "Did you see that, Chloe? Ethan doesn't love you at all. I'm the one who loves you so much. I'm about to die. I'm your little psycho. You said you would marry me." Only the corner of Chloe's chin was visible in the frame. After a long silence, a single tear slid silently down her cheek. For some reason, his heart ached along with it. My career as a substitute was probably ending early. He calculated his earnings. After paying the principal and interest from all these years, I should have enough left to buy my mom a small house. My benefactor, Chloe, didn't come home all night. Not that it mattered. Even if she did, it would be awkward. The next morning, I planned to pack my things and stay with my mom for a few days. She lives alone. To my surprise, when I walked into the dining room, the table was already set with breakfast, the fried eggs still steaming. We don't have a maid, which meant Chloe had been home. She made a meal and then left. What was that all about? There was also a school reunion invitation on the table. Just as I was about to pick it up, I heard footsteps behind me. Chloe was home. Her messy hair fell across her forehead. When our eyes met, an awkward tension filled the air. I forced myself to sit down and eat. She also sat down, expressionless, and began to viciously cut her fried egg. Suddenly, she asked, "Did you see the invitation?" I immediately sat up straight and shook my head, pushing the invitation towards her. "It's your private mail. I can't just look through it." With a clatter, Chloe dropped her knife and fork and walked into the study without looking back. For the rest of the day, we didn't exchange a single word. She even cooked lunch and dinner and cleaned the cat's litter box, all without saying a thing. She's angry, isn't she? She's sulking. After agonizing until midnight, I placed a glass of milk outside the guest room where Chloe was sleeping and went back to my room feeling uneasy. Sometime later, in a state of half-sleep, a warm body pressed against me from behind, hugging me tightly through the blankets. She muttered to herself like a child, "Hold me. I'm angry. Can't you tell? You're comforting me, right? Okay, I'll forgive you then." I couldn't help but chuckle under the covers. My eyes met Chloe's. Her deep eyes swirled with intense love as she said to me very seriously, word by word, "I need to be clear with you. I tortured Julian only because I hate him. He's so sick in the head he fantasizes that it's love. My life from now on has absolutely nothing to do with him. Now, the answer to all my emotions is you." As she spoke, Chloe's eyes lowered and she whispered, "You saw the reunion invitation, right? It says to bring a guest. I'm already married. What would it look like if I went alone?" On New Year's Eve, I accompanied Chloe to the Columbia University reunion. Halfway there, she had to meet with the dean and asked me to wait for her at the science building. My grades would never have gotten me into a school this good, but for some reason, everything here felt strangely familiar, as if a version of me from a parallel universe had once furiously scribbled in these labs. pulling all-nighters. This science building is a bit old. Does the department need investors? Thump. A thick dictionary fell beside me. A man's arrogant voice came from behind. It seems Chloe really loves you, bringing you to a private place like the lab. Julian slowly walked towards me. He was a man at the end of his rope, yet he was forcing a calm and composed demeanor. Do you know what this place is? It's where she and I had our first kiss. She'll never tell you these things. Women are always sentimental about their firsts, and I've already left a deep and colorful mark on her youth. This lunatic was giving me the creeps. I quickly turned to leave, only to find the door was locked. Julian smiled, fiddling with the equipment on the table. The old instruments quickly overloaded, emitting black smoke. Wires short-circuited and sparks danced across the floor. His mission wasn't to electrocute me, was it? My body reacted faster than my brain. Without hesitation, I picked up the dictionary and threw it at Julian. He was laughing, completely unprepared, and went sprawling on the ground, still clutching an electric probe. Just then, the door opened. Julian's face changed in an instant. The probe that had been aimed at me was suddenly turned around and plunged into his own stomach. Please, Ethan, I won't take Chloe from you. I swear we'll just be friends. I'm not part of the system anymore. Do I have to die for you to let me go? In broad daylight, was this madman ever going to stop? Did he think I was an idiot? This room has cameras. I angrily looked up to find them, but the surveillance camera had been smashed, leaving only an empty shell hanging on the wall. My heart pounded for a second, but only a second. Chloe's hand immediately wrapped around my waist, pulling me gently into her embrace. Looking for the camera? He dismantled it a while ago, as part of his system's mission. But it's better this way, isn't it? Makes things easier. Julian whimpered, his body trembling as he looked at Chloe. It was the little psycho's fault. I shouldn't have had so many memories with you. I won't bother you anymore. I didn't think Ethan would want me dead. Please, ask Ethan to spare me. Chloe's eyes turned icy as she quickly cut him off. My husband might spare you, but I never said I would. She kicked the probe with the tip of her shoe, her gaze bottomless and dark. 220 volts. I guess that's not enough for an idiot like you, is it? The system's final mission for you was to either get rid of me or take out Ethan. Did it ever tell you about the third option? For example, you die. I seem to be caught in Chloe's story of reincarnation and revenge. She must have been terribly wronged by Julian in her past life to be this ruthless. But what about the past me? What did I do to deserve to be so cherished by her? Did she truly love me? Or was she atoning for a debt to a stranger from a past life through me? What? You and that husband worshiper are fighting. After hiding out at my mom's for 5 days, she finally couldn't stand it and kicked me out. I'm so anxious. Just go back to your big villa. Isn't that better? I couldn't explain such a complex situation with sign language. After much thought, I just asked her, do you think we're in love? My mom looked at me as if she'd seen a ghost. At least she hasn't done anything to hurt you, right? You say you want to leave, but I've been waiting from spring to winter. If I wait any longer, I'll be holding grandchildren. She wants to be stuck to you 24/7. You haven't had a chance to make things clear with her. What's with all this coy drama? My mom clicked her tongue and pulled a document from a small drawer. 3 years ago, Chloe had begged her for a long time before she signed it. You know I was always against you dating or getting married, but then this silly girl just presented herself. If you divorce Chloe, you get to take all her assets for any reason at all. She said something about owing you from a past life, seemed a bit off in the head, but I've watched her these past 3 years. She's genuinely good to you. So it was because of that after all. What nonsense about a past life. A lump formed in my throat. My mom suddenly pushed me from behind. You want to see her? You want to ask her clearly? Then go downstairs and find her. Her car has been parked downstairs this whole time anyway. She's been squatting down there like a bodyguard every night. You couples are so annoying. Oh, by the way, after that last checkup, my condition was cured. The doctor said if it had been a few months later, it would have been serious. It's a good thing you took me for that checkup. The checkup was something she had constantly reminded me about every year. She would diligently remind me. Chloe had indeed never done anything to hurt me. I stepped out of the elevator, and by the window, I spotted her Maybach. As I hesitated whether to approach, she saw me, shaking the snow from her clothes as she ran towards me. She clearly had so much to say. She stopped on the last step, nervously straightening her clothes, her jawline tense as she tried to suppress her anxiety. She spoke softly. I'm sorry, I scared you again. Let me explain slowly, okay? Julian is really capable of committing crimes. In my past life, I quickly cut Chloe off. I want to hear about the past me. Was I deeply in love with you? Did I die for you? So after you were reborn, you decided to compensate me? Chloe's lips trembled involuntarily, unable to hide her inner turmoil. I thought she was going to pretend not to understand again, so I took out my phone to type. I can understand sign language, Ethan. I've been the one misinterpreting your intentions all along. I was afraid you didn't love me anymore. Her eyes reddened as she spoke bitterly. In our past life, you must have liked me for a long time, but I never responded to you. I only remember you being tormented horribly by Julian. Later, my affection level for him wouldn't rise. In that same laboratory, he completed his final mission to kill me. I only remember you being tormented horribly by Julian. Later, my affection level for him wouldn't rise. In that same laboratory, he completed his final mission to kill me. I was completely defenseless when he attacked me. I just remember that as the fire started, a man reeking of disinfectant was desperately trying to pull me out, kneeling on the ground and kowtowing to Julian. She closed her eyes, her peach blossom eyes looking as if they were about to bleed. Her slightly hoarse voice trembled. That person was you. You had escaped from the psychiatric hospital that day. That's why I'm so afraid of the smell of disinfectant on you. We were only a step apart, but she didn't come any closer, standing there like a lost puppy abandoned by its owner. Her head bowed in dejection. Snowflakes fell all over her, clinging to her long lashes and trembling gently. She took a breath, her face pale. Actually, I also think it's despicable to force you like this. You don't remember any past life. Let's get a divorce. I'll give you back your freedom. As she said this, she took a step back. I immediately stepped forward and grabbed her scarf. Chloe was visibly startled. The moment she looked up, tears rolled from her ashen eyes, and she stood there frozen and bewildered. I'm more of an emotional person than a rational one. I act on impulse. So I reached out, gently wiped the tears from the corner of her eye, pulled her into my arms, and kissed her forcefully. I never said I wanted a divorce. But you need to think carefully. I'm not the same as I was in the past life. At least I don't love you that much yet. Please get to know me again, understand my intentions seriously, and then ask me out on a proper date. I'll wait for the spring breeze and the falling leaves, for the New Year's fireworks, and for a better us.